If you've ever tried booking an appointment at a med spa, you know how frustrating it can be to wait on hold, leave voicemails that never get returned, or deal with a front desk that's clearly overwhelmed. But here's the thing most people miss. That same frustration is actually a massive business opportunity, because med spas are desperate for a way to handle calls without hiring more staff. The specific opportunity I'm talking about is starting an AI voice agent business for med spas, where you set up smart automated phone systems that book appointments, answer questions, and handle follow-ups for these clinics. Right now, this is worth paying attention to because the med spa industry is exploding in demand, yet most owners are still relying on outdated phone systems or overworked receptionists, creating a clear gap for a tech solution that's already proven in other industries. The barrier to entry is surprisingly manageable. You don't need a coding background or a huge budget, just a few $100s for the right AI tools and a willingness to learn how to customize them for a specific niche. But here's the catch. If you don't understand how to handle common objections, like privacy concerns or the fear that AI will sound robotic, you'll struggle to get your first client. In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how this business works, how to set up your first voice agent, how you can charge med spas, and what mistakes to avoid so you don't waste time. So let's start with the one thing that makes this opportunity so real right now. The sheer volume of missed calls that med spas are leaving on the table every single day. Let me introduce you to a business model that combines artificial intelligence with the booming med spa industry. So, essentially, you build and manage AI voice agents that handle phone calls for med spas, from booking appointments to answering common questions. The way you make money is by charging these spas a monthly retainer fee, typically between $500 and $2,000 per location. You're not building the AI from scratch. You're using existing voice agent platforms and customizing them for each client. One common mistake is thinking you need to be a programmer, but actually, most of this work is about setup and client communication. The upside is that med spas see a direct return by never missing a potential booking call, so they're happy to pay you. Your job is to keep their voice agent running smoothly and sounding natural. Now, let's talk about why this particular moment is perfect to jump into this space. Med spas are one of the fastest growing segments in the beauty and wellness world, and they're overwhelmed with phone calls. Most of these small businesses don't have a full-time receptionist, so calls go to voicemail or get ignored entirely. AI voice technology has improved so much in the last year that it can now sound like a real human, not a robot from the 90s. The cost of running a voice agent has dropped dramatically, which means you can offer a service that was previously only affordable for big corporations. A realistic truth is that not all med spa owners are tech savvy, so they genuinely need someone like you to set this up for them. This creates a huge window of opportunity because few people are offering this specific service right now. The benefit is that you're solving a real pain point, and once you prove it works, most clients will stay for years. Next, let's look at who this business is really a good fit for. You don't need a background in medicine or AI to start this, you just need to be comfortable with basic technology and talking to people. This business is perfect if you enjoy working independently and helping small business owners solve everyday problems. It's also a great fit if you want a service-based income that doesn't require a huge upfront investment or a physical office. People with some sales or customer service experience will find it easier to pitch the service and understand what med spa owners care about. One pitfall to avoid is assuming you can do everything alone without any support, because you'll need to troubleshoot technical hiccups. The upside is that the learning curve is pretty short, and many of the steps can be handled with online tutorials and trial accounts. If you're patient and willing to test things out, you can absolutely build this business from your laptop. Now, let's get into the startup costs and exactly what tools and equipment you'll need. Before we move on, I want to ask you something real quick. After hearing how this AI voice agent setup works for med spas, what part feels the most interesting to you? Is it the tech side, the sales side, or figuring out how to pitch it to a local business? Drop your answer in the comments below. I'd love to hear your take. Also, if you're finding this breakdown useful, go ahead and hit that like button. It helps more people discover this kind of practical business info. And if you haven't already, subscribe so you don't miss the next steps. Alright, let's get going. To launch this business, you'll need a computer with a decent internet connection and a good headset for testing calls. The main tool you'll use is an AI voice agent platform like Vopi, Bland AI, or Retail AI, which usually charges based on call minutes. Your startup costs are very low, typically under $100 for the first month of usage and platform fees. You'll also want a simple website or landing page that shows what you do, along with a business phone number for your own calls. A realistic mistake is spending money on expensive software before you even land your first client, so start with free trials first. The benefit is that you can test everything with a small budget and scale up only when you have paying clients. You don't need any special licenses or certifications to offer this service, which removes a huge barrier. Next, let's walk through what an actual day of work looks like so you can picture yourself doing this. Your typical day starts by checking the performance of your client's voice agents, looking at call logs and missed call reports. You might spend an hour tweaking the script or the agent's responses based on feedback from the med spa staff. Another big part of the work is prospecting, which means reaching out to new med spas and showing them how you can help. When you land a new client, you'll spend a few hours setting up their agent, testing calls, and training it on their specific services and pricing. A realistic truth is that you'll also handle occasional issues like dropped calls or awkward responses, but these are usually quick to fix. The upside is that most of your day is flexible, and you can batch your work into focused blocks of time. You'll quickly get faster at setups, and the same core process works for almost every med spa. Now let's get into the first practical steps you need to take to start building this business today. Step number 1 is to pick one AI voice agent platform and create a free trial account to learn how it works. Then you should build a simple demo agent that pretends to answer calls for a fictional med spa, like booking a basic appointment. After that, practice calling the demo from your own phone and tweak the conversation until it feels natural and smooth. Next, research med spas in your area or across the country and make a list of their phone numbers and owner names. A common pitfall is trying to perfect everything before talking to anyone, so reach out to a few spas early, even if your demo is rough. The benefit of starting with a rough demo is that you get real feedback and learn exactly what spas need. Once you've had those early conversations, you can refine your offer and pricing based on what you hear. This groundwork sets you up perfectly for the next stage, where we'll cover how to land your first paying client. So once you've got your AI voice agent ready to go, the next big question is, who do you pitch it to first? This part matters because without customers, you don't have a business, no matter how good your tech is. The easiest way to start is by reaching out to local med spas in your area that don't have a strong online booking or call handling system. You can find them by searching for med spa near me on Google Maps and then checking if they answer their phone or have a booking widget on their website. A common mistake here is trying to pitch the biggest, busiest med spas first, but they often already have a system in place and will not be interested. Instead, focus on smaller or newer med spas that are still handling calls themselves and clearly need help managing their phone lines. A simple cold email or a quick phone call explaining how your AI agent can book appointments for them while they're busy with clients can open the door. Once you land that first client, you'll have a real case study to show the next prospect, which makes everything easier from there. Pricing your AI voice agent service can feel tricky at first, but it's actually pretty straightforward once you know what med spas are already paying. Getting this right is crucial because if you undercharge, you'll burn out fast, and if you overcharge without proof, you'll scare people away. A good starting point is to charge a monthly subscription fee, something like $200 to $500 per med spa, depending on how many calls they get and how much customization they need. You can also offer a tiered plan where basic call handling is cheaper and advanced features like follow-up texts or integration with their booking software cost extra. The biggest mistake beginners make is pricing based on their own time instead of the value the agent provides, like saving the med spa owner hours of phone tag every week. Remember, a med spa that loses a single booking because they missed a call is losing hundreds of dollars, so your service is actually a bargain compared to hiring a receptionist. A practical step is to start with a lower price for your first few clients to build testimonials, then raise your rates once you have proven results. After you set your pricing, the next thing to think about is how much money you can realistically bring in each month. If you're serious about turning this idea into something real, you don't have to figure it all out alone. Over at www.wealthylifetribe.com, you'll find practical guides and resources that match exactly what we're talking about here. Whether you need help with the tech setup, finding your first client, or understanding the numbers, there's support waiting for you. It's all about giving you useful tools without the fluff or hype. You'll also get access to a community of people who are exploring similar business ideas and automation tools. So if you want to keep building your knowledge and stay motivated, that's a great next stop. No pressure, just real help for real progress. Check it out when you get a chance. Let's talk numbers, because I know that's what everyone really wants to hear about. This part matters because you need a realistic picture of what this business can actually pay you, not just hype. If you land 5 med spa clients at an average of $300 per month each, that's $500 a month in recurring revenue, which is a solid side income. As you get better and raise your rates to $500 per client, 10 clients would bring in $5,000 a month, and that's very achievable within a few months of consistent outreach. The realistic truth is that you will not hit those numbers overnight, and you'll probably spend the first month or two just getting your first couple of clients. But once you have a few happy customers, referrals start coming in, and your income can grow steadily without you having to work more hours. A helpful insight is that this business scales well because adding a new client doesn't require much extra work once your system is set up. Of course, scaling only works if you avoid the common mistakes that trip up most beginners, so let's go over those next. When you're just starting out, it's easy to make a few mistakes that can slow you down or even kill your business before it gets going. These mistakes matter because they waste your time and money, and they can make you look unprofessional to potential clients. One of the biggest is trying to build a perfect AI voice agent before you even talk to a single med spa owner, when you should be testing a simple version with real feedback first. Another common pitfall is overpromising what your agent can do, like saying it can handle complex medical questions when it really just books appointments and answers basic FAQs. A realistic truth is that med spa owners are busy and skeptical, so if your demo call sounds robotic or glitches, they'll lose trust fast. The upside is that you can avoid this by recording a few test calls with friends pretending to be clients, then tweaking the script until it sounds natural. A simple takeaway is to keep your first offers small and focused. Just appointment booking and basic info, and then add features later as you learn what they actually need. Once you avoid those early stumbles, you'll be in a much better position to stand out from everyone else offering similar services. You're not the only person who's thought of selling AI voice agents to med spas, so you need a way to be different. Standing out matters because if you look like every other generic service, you'll just be competing on price, and that's a race to the bottom. The best way to stand out is to specialize in med spas specifically, so you can talk their language and understand their unique booking challenges. For example, you can customize your agent to handle common med spa questions like, do you offer Botox? Or, what's your cancellation policy? Instead of sounding like a generic call center. A realistic truth is that most competitors will try to sell a one-size-fits-all solution, so your deep knowledge of the med spa industry becomes your biggest advantage. Another way to differentiate is to offer a free trial week so they can hear how natural your agent sounds before committing to a contract. A practical step is to create a short demo video showing your agent booking a real appointment for a med spa and send that to prospects instead of a boring pitch email. Once you start winning clients because you stand out, the next step is turning those clients into a steady stream of referrals and repeat business. Getting your first few clients is great, but the real magic happens when those clients start sending you new business without you even asking. Building momentum matters because it turns your side hustle into a sustainable business that grows on its own. The simplest way to get referrals is to ask your happy clients directly, do you know any other med spa owners who struggle with missed calls, and offer them a small discount or a free month for each referral. You can also build repeat business by checking in with your clients monthly to see if they need any updates or new features, which keeps them from canceling. A realistic truth is that some clients will churn, maybe because they close down or switch to a different system, so you always need to be adding new ones. The upside is that once you have a few long-term clients, your monthly income becomes predictable, and you can focus on improving your service instead of constantly hunting for new leads. A practical takeaway is to set up a simple system where you send a short report each month showing how many calls your agent handled and how many appointments were booked, so clients see the value clearly. With that momentum going, you'll be ready to think about scaling up even further, which is exactly what we'll cover in the next part of this video. Marketing this business doesn't have to be complicated, but you do need to stay consistent. If you only reach out when you need clients, you'll always feel behind. The simplest approach is to pick 2 channels and stick with them every week. Cold emailing med spa owners with a short case study works well, and so does direct messaging on Instagram. A common mistake is trying to be everywhere at once and burning out fast. Instead, focus on building a small list of prospects and following up with them regularly. Set aside 30 minutes each morning to send 5 personalized messages or emails. That steady rhythm will keep your pipeline full without overwhelming you. One of the best parts of building something like this is not having to do it completely on your own. That's why I want to invite you to join the community at www.wealthylifetribe.com. It's a space where people share what's working, ask questions, and support each other through the ups and downs. Whether you're just starting to research or you're already testing your first pitch, you'll find others on the same path. It makes the whole process feel a lot less lonely and a lot more doable. Plus, you'll get updates on new tools and strategies that can help you move faster. So if you want to stay connected and keep learning, hit subscribe here and come join us on the site. Let's build this thing together. Once you land your first few clients, the next step is to grow each account into a bigger monthly retainer. Many beginners stay stuck on small one-time setups because they never ask for more. Start by offering a basic voice agent package, then suggest upgrades like custom hold music or advanced call routing. You can also bundle in monthly maintenance, call analytics reports, or a second phone line for the front desk. The trick is to prove your value first, then show how an upgrade saves them even more time. A med spa owner who sees fewer missed calls will happily pay an extra $100 a month. Always track the results you deliver, like call answer rates or booked appointments, and share them in a simple monthly report. That proof makes it easy to raise your prices and expand the relationship naturally. This business sounds smooth on paper, but you will hit some real bumps along the way. The biggest challenge is dealing with med spa owners who are skeptical about AI replacing their receptionist. You'll need to handle objections about voice quality, privacy concerns, and the fear of sounding robotic. Another common issue is technical hiccups, like the voice agent mishearing a client's name or failing to transfer a call correctly. Expect to spend the first few weeks troubleshooting and tweaking your scripts until everything runs smoothly. The upside is that once you fix those problems, the system becomes very reliable and your clients trust you more. Don't let early frustration scare you off. Every mistake teaches you how to build a better setup. Just keep a calm, problem-solving attitude and your clients will appreciate your dedication. Not everyone is cut out for this kind of work, and that's okay to admit up front. If you hate talking to strangers on the phone or sending cold messages, you'll struggle to find clients. Also, if you aren't comfortable learning basic tech tools like voice agent platforms and call analytics, this might not be a good fit. People who want a completely passive income stream should think twice, because you do need to handle client support and occasional troubleshooting. Another red flag is if you expect every med spa owner to say yes immediately. Rejection is part of the process. On the flip side, if you enjoy solving problems and building relationships, this business can be very rewarding. Be honest with yourself about your patience level and your willingness to learn new software. If those things sound like a chore rather than a challenge, you might want to explore a different path. Here's a straightforward plan to go from 0 to your first paying client in 30 days. Week 1, pick a voice agent platform, set up a free trial, and build a basic script for a med spa. Week 2, record a short demo video showing how the agent answers a common question like booking an appointment. Week 3, reach out to 10 med spa owners each day using email or Instagram DMs with that demo. Week 4, follow up with anyone who showed interest and offer a free 2-week trial to prove your system works. The key is to keep moving forward even if you don't get a yes right away. Persistence pays off. By the end of the month, you'll have real feedback, a working demo, and likely at least one trial client. That first win will give you the confidence and the case study you need to keep going. Starting any new business feels uncertain, but this one has a clear path and real demand right now. Med spas are desperate for reliable phone coverage, and they're willing to pay for a solution that works. You don't need a huge budget or a fancy office, just a laptop, a good voice agent platform, and the willingness to learn. The best part is that every client you help frees up their staff to focus on actual patient care, which feels genuinely good. Yes, there will be tough days and awkward sales calls, but those are just stepping stones to something bigger. If you take that first step today, even a small one, you're already ahead of everyone who only thinks about it. Build one solid client relationship, learn from the process, and then repeat it. You have everything you need to make this work, so go ahead and start. So now you have a clear picture of how this AI voice agent business for med spas actually works. It's not about hype or magic, it's about learning the tools, testing your approach, and building real skills. The next step is to think about what part of this process you want to try first. If you found this video helpful, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more practical guidance. For even more useful resources, step-by-step support, and motivation, head over to www.wealthylifetried.com. That's where you'll find a community focused on learning, growing, and taking real action. Keep exploring, keep testing, and remember that every small step moves you closer to your goals. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.